Good time zone chat. How's everybody doing? Oh, let's see. Trying some new headphone action today. Am I getting sound though? I was before, now I'm not. What's up, headphones? Actually, maybe I'll just... I'm sure they... Give 1 second here. Let's see if I can get them going. All right, connected to what though? Yeah, I think it might be connected to the wrong one. That's the problem. Oh, I wonder if it double connected. That would be cool. If I could play two sources of audio into the same headphones. I don't know if that's... This should... Okay, I'm kind of hearing something. It's just soft in these headphones. All right. Very good. Now, what would this farewell week be without a couple of video configuration moments? Where's the interface? There it is. Going optimal on everything except video configuration. Going snafu on that. But that should do. Whoa. All right, we got it. What's up, what's up? Say some hellos. Go right to a poll, you early birds. Your vote will count here. There's not many people around to decide, so let me know whether we are gonna get a RAV sealed in while we can or head back to the future. What's up, Math? Hey, Mama. Welcome, Hat. Good time zone, Rob. Hello, True. What's up, Gar? Timber Ho. JTH, how's it going? You can ask. And I could tell you, but then I'd have... No, let's not make that joke. Poor D, desperate for... He's like on the side of the road holding out his hat for going optimal channel points. Hard times for poor Dionysus. Oh, sorry. Poll didn't fire. My bad. I think I didn't give it a time. Sorry. Now that's a fraudulent election right there. Rigged. One more try. Rav. Neo. This should work. Went out to a fancy dinner last night with a couple of other couples. A friend of mine who's a Seattle foodie, loves to check out different and new cool places around town, and we both are celebrating a return to upcoming jobs, so we thought we'd have a go out and raise a glass to the future. And we did, and it was great and yummy and all that stuff. Yay, friends and good meals. No, not Marshall. Although getting a good meal with that good friend is certainly long overdue. Haven't. Thanks, Prof. See, now that's too loud. So what is not loud? Is this, maybe this? Oh, that's where I want it. Well, I'm gonna have to move this back down. Thank you, Prof. What's going out? Well, honestly, I didn't know. I'd completely forgotten, and then my children grew up to an age where they could fend for themselves, and suddenly I relearned about this thing called going out. Thank you, Prof. Appreciate that. All right, now we got some real results. One more RAV sealed, all right. Gems in, gems out here. I think I'm going to use gold. We're a little low on gems, and I want to have the ability to do gem-only stuff, which there are sometimes. And if we dip below 2,000, you can't do the kind of gem-only events that pop up. So I'm going to do that. Timber, such a softie. Rolls down the window, tosses some channel points into Dee's hat. All right, let's grab a sealed pool. Hey, I let Card Kingdom know that my new job was starting on Monday, and that they could suspend or bring my sponsorship to an end and prorate April if they wanted, since I'm not really completing the month of April in streaming. And they're like, nah, you have all of April. Of course, we're gonna thank you for your partnership, and we'll pay you for April with our thanks. And I've parted ways with Card Kingdom, but they kind of gave me a tip on the way out, so thank you, Card Kingdom. Let's do this. Gabe, I'm starting a new job, full-time job on Monday, but I can't tell you what it is until Monday. If you'd like to come back on Monday at the usual start time, I'm going to be on briefly Monday to announce my position and say my final farewell before a hiatus as I sort out what's what at the new gig. It doesn't mean forever farewell, it just means hiatus time. All right, open. I'll remember to get out of your way this time. Double pelt collector. Can we do some green aggro? That's kind of cool. Although I don't know how, this was a constructed powerhouse. Turn one pelt a couple years in a row there. Mass manipulation is more of the sealed power level I'm liking. Certainly the blue is oppressive, but you can get to, if you cast this for 8, it's hard to lose. It's possible. You have to be way behind. If you spend 8 to take 2 tapped creatures and then lose to the rest of them or something like that. But then Reveler is interesting too. Not just interesting, not necessarily good. To Spectacle, you need to be gold, 2 color, and it's a powerful spectacle effect if you're timing it right, but it's again kind of it's not really where your assessment of the card is. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more like a bear for us, but you need your bears if we end up in those colors. Blood Operative. This can get really annoying if you have the triggers, but let's see, what's the trigger? I forget. whenever you surveil, that's the thing. Yeah. So I thought it was a surveil trigger. The problem with surveil triggers, as I mentioned before in sealed, is that they're less prevalent when you only have half the boosters from the sets with surveil. I got this to do its thing in draft, but it's going to be hard to get it to do its thing here. But of course, in draft, where you can be dedicated blue-black surveil in guilds, then you could do that thing. Dovin, super solid planeswalker, right? Makes flyers, yeah. Until minus to make a 1/1 flyer and gain a life, plus to get loyalty. What's the until end of turn? Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter. So the play pattern is we want to minus to make evasive threats that can in turn put loyalty on Dovin. The plus itself raises the loyalty, and then whenever you deal damage, it does more loyalty on top of that. So you can crank up the loyalty pretty quickly if you're going aggro. And then we look at the ultimate, look at the top 10 cards of your library, put 3 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, I mean, I think you're in for this as just a 3-mana, initially a 3-mana 1/1 flyer, so that's a bad deal, but then it leaves behind this planeswalker that's either going to get into a mode where it does that endlessly or the opponent has to do something about it. So classically, while this isn't just some head-smacking bomb of a planeswalker, the ones that make creatures when they enter on turn 1 are generally just always fine, at least because of that excellent floor and the demand to answer it. So a couple of directions we can go here. We're going to have to look at our rest of our cards to decide this. If we have amazing blue, I mean, I'm going to chase this mass manipulation, but if our blue is slight or it's not deep enough, we can't really do the 4. But that's the most powerful rare we got. Whoa. In so many ways, the separation of church and state is largely theoretical in the U.S., but only in some places. The separation is pretty good in other places, but yeah. Admonition, excellent. Let's take a look at blue first and just see if we got what we need. We can play this. The Surveil one makes a expensive unsummon fine. Essence Captures playable. Mesmerist is not, we're not happy. Yeah, blue is actually, unfortunately, not very deep, it looks like. I love an admonition, but nothing else here is like super powerful. And mass manipulation being, we can look at the gold, and I'll look at lands next too. That's okay. There's the Arbiter we remember. Knight is good. Shark to Crab and Growth Spiral. So there's some blue-gold stuff that could potentially make a difference. Let's take a look at our lands all in one view to understand that picture. I think we just, well, whatever. Here we go. What do we see in the lands? We see a lot of blue. So there are 4, we have 4 blue pips in our 6 duels. There's 3 red pips. Not much green. Green and black, yeah, so green is the lightest, blue the heaviest. All right, well, that's good to know. We were also kind of looking at the, we had 2 green rares that if we have the aggro, could be a good strategy. People take it a little slower in this format, and if we scream out of the gate with the double green rare. So let's look just by color now. Take a look at that. Like, I'm going to put appealing cards. I'm going to put the gates in as a reminder. This is a pretty appealing card. Stuff that's at least a bit of a pull towards the color or pair. Like, Companions, not quite. You play it, but it's not like a reason to be white exactly. Sky Tether, same thing. It's removal, but it's really, you really want to be winning in the air if you're going to Sky Tether stuff, that kind of thing. Rosemane Centaur, it's not a reason, especially the goldness, so we'll move on from that. We've already looked at blue, but I'm going to re-look with an eye towards what is pulling me in, and also to add the lands, just add the fixing. That's what I consider Growth Spiral part of the important to remember, since it's a ramping fixing style card. Eel is close to being an ad, but it is just filler in the end. It's ground beef. Essence Capture is close. Yeah, blue at best is a splash, so Mass Manip doesn't look like it's gonna play, but I'll put that. Deadweight I like. Demise is great. Operative, even if you're just having a 3/1 lifelink for 3, if we're not surveilling much, okay, but we're still gonna play that. If we're black, I'm gonna add it to that pile. Put in the Guild Gate. A reminder of this rare. IGI, I don't think it's important enough even to throw into our, you know, it's what's deciding things, but like, yeah, I'd still play it. I just don't know if it's a pull. If we're aggro enough, it is. The more aggro we are, the more it's like a reason, you know. I'll put it in so we remember. I'll even put Child in. And these, the Guild Mages tend to be powerful enough to, this is not bad either, just as a graveyard feeder for that strategy, but the strategy ended up not being very good. All right, let's keep looking at color by color for standout cards. Looking for standout cards that are giving us a reason to be in a place, and then we'll go back and fill it out with the weaker stuff. Scorch Mark is removal. I want to pull that in just to keep in mind what we have on that front. Now let's see this green. This could be important, given we know the 2 collectors here. Yeah, it's tricky in that it feels like the power's really spread out. It's not what you want to see. You want a nice, tight, obvious central point of power in your color. But yeah, we can. I mean, I like the District Guide. I like the hybrid. We can take this. It fixes and it at least replaces itself. I think it's fine and sealed. This is a decent finisher. I wish this was just the fight 6, you know. But Foragers is real. Ceratok is pretty real. Yeah, it's fair. Are we green-black then? Maybe we're green-black, weird aggro. It's not where I expected to end up here, but we could also do green-black splash. We got Might of the Masses. Pax Favor, some serious pumping, combat tricks. We wanted to do that. Yeah, Mammoth Spider just is an easy play and Gorgon just easy to cast. I think I'm gonna throw it. Yeah, I'm leaning green-black, and then we see that means cutting these. Like maybe Savage Smash is a splash. It's kind of getting away from where our lands were strong, but that's okay. Let's chase the quality spells. Although you could argue splashing Shark to Crab Admonition, if because we do have the Dimir Gate. Are we playing this Vigor Spore? I remember it not being that great, but maybe if we're creature heavy enough, we're supposed to. Vine is playable, it replaces itself, but not really what we want. This is only power, right? Power, yeah. So like Vine doesn't trigger pelts or anything. Yeah, we can throw it in as just a big thing, I suppose. Well, what good stuff do we have to splash? I like the smash. I'll move. And there's Final Payment. This is just me kind of putting the splashy stuff in the middle. So there's some white removal, some red removal. I don't think we would splash a Rubber Belt Runner. There's no reason to do that. Well, let's look at any green-black I may have left out as not a pull, right? I wasn't just putting everything in. So like a poisoner, just another death touch at 1 is fine. Can even run this was fine in guilds. It's clunky, but it does provide this end game where it's like, holy crap, that's effectively an 8/8. Okay, well, geez. Which one? The Grudion, more death touch. I feel like we certainly have the death touch on the ground game pretty sewn up. Yeah, I'll put Trumpeter as specifically a red splash consideration. Same with kind of the Reveler. If we think of this as a Spectacle 4 mana card, not a 2-drop bear we're including, but a, you know, swap 3. Probably not worth it, though. This is actually better than it looks. I'll put it in our consideration of 6+ category. Maybe our green is just better in that area, but I at least want to acknowledge that that's a consideration. Checking now for splashes that are appealing. I want to see, I'm about to sneeze. Feel it. Once? Twice? Okay. Let's look at the land again. What was our gate situation? So if it's not green, or I think maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe am I overthinking the black? Are we base green black, or are we just base green? I think we're base green black. The early black is good. So for base green black, then I'm looking at gates in these other colors that are at least green or black. And the good news is we got some of those at least. This is not green or black though, and this isn't, and this isn't. Yeah, I think we can cut. Well, you know, there's decent interaction, but yeah, we can cut white. And then blue has the better lands. If we just want to toss in a crab and an admonition, I think I just cut the spiral here. The spiral was in case blue-green was our main. But I don't hate including these two. I think they're both pretty powerful, although do we need to? You know, we could cut the Utopia and the Splash and just be a... Although we don't, you know, we're also at 43 here looking to cut one of these colors. So we may need to splash or up the power level, you know, include some lower power level stuff in our core colors. So I'm going to throw it to chat. I want to splash red or blue. This is kind of what we're looking at as our reasons, one way or the other. And given that, let's take a look at kind of this as well. Or maybe even here's other splash stuff. Anyway, what do you think? Are we gonna splash red or blue? Spelling the words so that you have something clear to latch onto there. I should have put none. You can do neither. Like if I look at our green black, we do have, you know, there's a Grudion. Like we do have little, you know, there's this veiled shade. We could just be 2-color. So I really should have put that as a deliberate option, but you can certainly indicate. So nobody wants blue though. All right, let's at least start with that. And then, you know, we get pretty down to the nitty gritty. Yeah, nothing, it's just doesn't seem worth it. I mean, maybe it'd be, yeah, we're only looking at one gate, so nope. The 3/3 for the gold 3/3 is not worth splashing when we're looking to make cuts. If we needed to add something, it could be on our list of potential adds. Yeah, I guess we do have other red gates. Do you really want to slow down our mana? But I also don't want to play that many more red. Like, we got Utopia and Guild Gate, and like one mountain is where I want to be. And I feel like we have a late game. Like, we don't need a 6-drop you know, I don't know. I'm not into that. Just I hear you, but like, if we didn't have a late game, I would be more interested. But we have that job somewhat filled. In fact, I'm thinking maybe one of our final cut might be one of these big drops. Trumpeter's not increasing the pelt collectors, which is kind of a non-bow for a 2-drop in the deck, but if we're not replacing it with another 2-drop, then it doesn't really matter. Why do you want to cut the Child of Night? I don't like cutting 2-powered 2-drops, especially with looking to go turn 1 pelt collector with some level of reliability. I mean, that's exactly like, I want to keep Child for the same reason I'm eyeing the Trumpeter, but there's not really anything else to put in instead. And yeah, I'm a fan. I will die on the hill of championing the underrated 2/1 for 2 with no abilities in a deck that needs a curve, right? I think that's underrated as a floor. Like, sometimes you just need 2 power to block with on turn 2. If I'm splashing, I'm going to play the Utopia because I don't want to necessarily increase my mountain count. I'm not necessarily looking to put in creatures. Again, I feel like that we've got the job done. If anything, the creature job is pretty well done. Oh, I guess District Guide is almost a reason to not even have to play the mountain. District Guide fetches gates. So District Guide, Utopia, and Natural Draw of the Gate is a 3-source splash off of a single gate, which allows me to go to 9 on forests, really increasing the chances of us being able to land a turn 1 pelt collector. And yep, this is the I just don't know if we need another Grudion, right? I'm playing the 1, so obviously I know that it's quite playable. Do we want another thing in that role, in that job? I mean, Blood Operative is pretty, we're not surveilling at all. So this is like a 3/1 lifelink with a lot of spare words upon it. But so it goes. I'm still running it here. Yeah, I think, is Grudion better than Operative? Maybe it is. Maybe Grudion is. It's a little easier to cast for one thing. Oh, come on, they're not the same card. The Blood Operative, if it hits once or twice, like a 6-point extra life swing that you could get off an Operative, attack once and then trade with something, is real. But Death Touch, being able to trade with anything, not just 3 toughness or lower, is also quite real. So I think the tiebreaker is probably the casting, and double black when we're looking to go 9 forest, 7 swamp. It is probably a cut for the Grudion. That's true. 3 power does matter to those collectors. Maybe that means we're supposed to be looking at potentially keeping both. Again, cutting a... I still need a cut, though, so I think I want to cut some of this top end and probably the it just this card overperforms in its slot. But we also, part of its job is to trade off on the ground, and obviously we've done a lot of that with our Death Touchers. So, yeah, you want to cut the Trumpeter. Mike wants a Trumpeter out. Also, the activation, like, we're only ever getting that once. Which one's Scrap Welder? Well, I can't find it, but I will say that just, we're not defined 24/7 by our jobs, Gar. I mean, oh, it's a Neo card. I thought it was on the screen or something. But, if there's a picture of you not teaching, I'm not going to be like, is that guy really a professor? He's not even professing anything. You got to profess something. Well, I don't know. Let's run with this, see how it goes. Play some Magic. Big glowing hammer. Maybe it's a typo and it's supposed to be a wielder. Scrap wielder. These new headphones I'm trying are the headphone version of the earbuds that I got and enjoyed the quality of, but had issues with the customer service. Status. I got these Status Pro earbuds and really liked the sound quality. Then one of them didn't work. It took forever to get it replaced. But these have been great and have had no issues with them. I was at my parents' and they have kind of $300 Sony wireless Bluetooth, and well, I guess wireless Bluetooth is kind of redundant. And we compare; these are like 150, and we did a same phone, same song, different headphones, and these held up. I mean, these were arguably better than the Sonys. I thought they were sharper. The Sonys were kind of a warmer tone, but with the nature of a lot of the music I listen to, I like the sharpness of these. So anyway, if you want, I recommend them with the caveat that if you have a customer service issue, it might take longer than you'd like. They did do right by me with my customer service issues, so. I did give them the benefit of the doubt and got these headphones and have been quite pleased with them. They sound great. Oh, Pelt, you're so late. Oh, we could have done it. We had it. As it is, well, I could collect. I guess both of this represents attacking with 2 power next turn. So I could still do that first, and then maybe we'll draw a forest, and then we'll have Guild Mage with a Might up, or we Deadweight and Guild Mage. So yeah, we'll do it. We have good options for next turn, and it's the same attacking power. Like if we had clean ways to spend all 3 of our mana on turn 3. After playing a Guild Mage on 2, then there's a really good argument to just run out the Guild Mage, but we didn't have a clean turn 3 anyway. Now, with nothing to Deadweight, I'm going to lead with the Forest, so that is up even as we cast the Guild Mage, and then we'll have Might of the Masses after that. My friend who goes to twice as many concerts as I do and is obsessed with, among other things, audio safety, ear protection, has custom ear protection for concerts so that his decibels are lowered with perfect fitting snugness. All right, I guess we just go for the IGI here. We can attack first and see if they've got anything tricksy. Might just be Radical Idea. Ideally, they do something to, you know, reveal their... to make the IGI a clear shot, a clear play. I mean, it still will be. We're not going to not go for it with nothing to kill, nothing to deadweight, but this could get countered. We'll see. Right on. Seeing Oppo spin wheels early on Radical Ideas is good for us. We're applying pressure. They are doing a lot of nothing. A lot of wheel spinning, as we say. I should play Grudion in case Might is relevant, and then we'll get a little extra oomph on the Might. Got to remember that Might of Masses creates many exceptions to the heuristic of cast before combat, or cast after combat. Huh? Not the worst. Oppo is in serious trouble. We're one land away from putting them at a virtual -4 thanks to the IGI activation, and then if you count the upkeep, it's basically a virtual -5. And now... yeah, I'm just going to send the Guild Mage. Oppo blocks. We're going to Might for... it doesn't give trample. If it gave trample, you could make a case for deadweighting first, but I'm just going to go for the Might kill here. And then... I don't think we need to deadweight. Well, you want to just save Might for the face kill. That's fair, Mike, but I've advanced to combat now, so I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to I'm not going to not attack now. So I've just committed to using the Might here, but I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I should save the Might to try to get face damage. But deadweight will still likely make the day rough for anything they attempt to play defensively after this. So not optimal, but still in a good spot. Third color alert. Let's see what they do with that. But, you know, they need to deal with IGI. They're again, virtual 3, right? If we effectively feel like we're going to draw a land pretty soon. Interesting. Don't have the red for this, but what's interesting is, you know, the 4/4 is a pretty big game changer there, but really we're just going to deadweight that now. We could deadweight. No, we can't deadweight Grant Menace. We could get in with the Pelt. Well, Menace and Go is really, I'm not sure that's a winning plan. Well, I guess it does. Yeah, it does set up for if we expect a land soon, that does give us the effective 9876. Yeah, I'm just making sure that makes sense, and I think it does. They're drawing a lot of cards here, so we might get our stuff messed with on untap, but this does really make him have an answer to the IGI, right? Yeah, it's not a kill next turn, true, but I still think it's effectively enough of a kill to be worth doing. It certainly says gain a ton of life or deal with the IGI, or you're in deep trouble, Oppo. And that's a good thing to be able to tell your opponent. Careful tapping, leaving a single green behind. Does that spell single green combat trick? Wouldn't really matter if the menace thing is still active, but maybe they're going to kill the guild mage here. Indeed. Well, they're outcarding us by a wide margin here. There's the answer to what that is about. But hey, we're still a land in the next 2 draws, and it still favors us. So here we are. I could activate this, but they're not dead, so we're not going to do that. We can't cast this because we don't have green or red. I can dead weight to prevent some damage if we feel that that's important. But I'm going to pass because if they do come up with something to take out the IGI before we untap, then I really want to be able to fire off the drain. They are playing green, so maybe they come up with a disenchant type effect, naturalize effect, and I want to at least get the drain fired off if that's the case. Yeah, we can also just haste the beast, which is probably the correct thing to do over sacking the IGI, unless it's completely clear. I mean, right now we should win here, right? They're showing 6 mana. We did find the land, so this is a legit interesting decision. They may be... But they actually have effectively a 6/6, so if we trampled, they even have a block. So this is no longer even a great play, so I'm going to just go for it. There's might be some, but I'm going to make him have it. Life's too short. Let's do this and see if we win. We win! Hooray!
Thank you. We got one!
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Tron looking to match up. Bring it. Looked like pairing was being pretty slow, so I bet Tron has a good chance of landing the matchup. Indeed. Good luck, Tron. Awkward. Can't really go turn 1 Pelt Collector, turn 2 Reveler in the deck, I don't think. There's no untapped red source for turn 2. We're going to keep, though, of course. And I'm ideally going to use this as Spectacle, so I'm going to go ahead and play a Forest and run out the Collector to start. Maybe that's a little greedy and I should just accept the Bear, but I'm going to be a little greedy. Oh, that's very greedy, because it's going to be tough to do Reveler Spectacled after a Wrecking Beast, so either this is a long way off or I'm pitching a Wrecking Beast, one of the two. So we'll go Gate now, though, with nothing else to do. Direct current. Ouch. So now do we Reveler because it's something to do, or hold up the demise because that's something to do to probably whatever they play here? I still am tempted to try, especially now that we're like, we basically are gonna likely hit 7 mana on 7 and be able to wreck with Beast. So I'm gonna be greedy again. Which is to say, or maybe patient. I don't know how you think of it. If it's maybe both patient and greedy. Maybe. Why not both? Well, Oppo not doing anything back at us. Yeah, I could play it. It just doesn't feel like they kill it. It's an easy kill for one thing. I just don't see the reason to run this out. We're just not aggro this game. And it's not amazing. And, you know, maybe I don't even run this out since we don't really have a turn 5 setup. But I also have faith that there are spells in my deck that I might want to draw and cast. I'm going to use it. It's also not like it's a Doomblade or something. It's only going to get harder and harder to get things, although red-black tends to have a lot of targets for that. All right, Grudian is something to do. Get out there, buddy. And yeah, I don't mind. I know Grudian can die. We could save it with Might even if we want. Let's see if they... Oh. What change? My one thing that's weird about these headphones is that they have like touch the outside type controls. So like a stray swipe of my hand will affect... will change settings if I'm not careful. That's a nice spell, but we'll let that happen. Well, I was pretty sure we were gonna be wrecking on 7, but we haven't found a land since I pointed out our 6 lands. One collector in the yard says this can grow, but it still trades for the juggler. So there's not much to do on that front. But I do think getting this out makes sense. So probably gonna offer and the Grudian dies to the current anyway. So I'm gonna do it. We don't have to. We could hold it till we have the Might, for example. But with Beast and a 6/4, like right now, they could pretty easily play anything and like double block the 6/4. I like offering the Grudion just to make it harder for them to take care of this worm and this beast via blocks. We're gonna make them have removal. Now they have black, so they might just have exactly that. Might have reach out and kill. Well, not reach out and kill, but certainly an answer. But I like where we're headed here. We get to kill the Plague Crafter. I'm going to continue to be greedy. We are so close to reckon with Beast, and then we can probably Reveler after that. Although, 2 cards, maybe they have more removal hanging out. I don't know exactly what Sony model they were Radianware, but man, they look exactly like that. They are $300 Sony Bluetooth, you know, active noise canceling wireless headphones, whatever the current model is. Well, no land, but that'll get the land, and so let's go get it. That's not what these are. These are the flagship noise canceling status audio headphones, but I did a sound comparison against Sony's, the Sony's that my stepmom had. We'll get more green. I do have a coffee refill waiting for me upstairs. If I remember after this game, I'm going to go and get that. I totally forgot this was Tron, by the way. I'm like, I slipped into Oppo mode and was like, oh yeah, right. We got to get Tron here. We got to beat the crap out of Tron. No, I don't. And that's because, well, for one thing, I forgot it was him. So let's I'll let him know through emotes. Hello. Oops. Ooh, or we could smash. But at 20 to 18 and 6, yeah, good game. Let's haste it. They don't have, Tron doesn't have the power to trade for this right now. And if Tron has the removal, Tron's got the removal. Tron is Nathan. Tron's a he. I can say if Nathan has the removal, he's gonna remove it. And if not, the might and the smash will do good things. And then maybe we do it all 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if we draw a basic land, we can do all 3 of these things in one go. But maybe that just wins the game. It really depends on what Nathan does about the beast. All right, that's not great, especially if, well, if Nathan picks off the district guide now, that's bad news. Okay, but what does it mean that he didn't? Because this is sorcery speed, and man, it's too bad we lost this because you dodged it, Nathan. We had it. We got the basic for the full shebang here. I kind of like going for the smash, knowing that if it's a shock, if Nathan has 2 instant speed damage, we do have the might to save it. So I am going to go for the smash here and see if it works. Yeah, I might be holding it for a better target, but I'm a little nervous about this. But the presence of the might makes me want to do this. All right, that's great. Although I forgot that we actually can't do it all because we only had 1 red. I don't know if anybody saw that, but now I'm seeing that. Do I might here? No. No, we may find another creature next turn, and next turn we can might and reveler and still have our hand emptied. Did you mean? Yeah, sorry. I you know, you just presume you can cast everything. Oh, this thing is nasty. Whammo. Alright, so now we actually could use a little help. If we find a creature, then might becomes +2/+2, which still isn't enough. IGI, fantastic draw, because that's going to let us Reveler and put serious pressure on here. Maybe I am just supposed to Reveler now, though. Although, again, now that we are going to IGI, yeah, that's true. It's still only a 2/2, but it's better than discarding a card for no value if we can cast it. So we'll say no attacks here and have lots of options next turn, we hope. Although this is where Tron probably tries to kill it. Ooh. excellent choice because the might actually doesn't take care of business here. I almost might as well use it and then chump this turn though, because we are going to ping with IGI and Spectacle for sure, almost for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and might to keep it alive for a turn, and then I can chump the 6/5, save 6 points of damage, untap, and revel, or cause Tron to go ahead and use up that removal hanging out in his yard. All will be revealed, Tron. Even got the land, or what we wanted was a land or a cheap spell to get out of our hand ahead of Reveler. And sure, play this, gain some life back. I love those. Those are the best, right? And I, as a streamer, I've learned to... early on, I was pretty judgmental. You know, oh, there's... what's that crazy play? And then now, you know, I tend to give my opponents the benefit of the doubt and try to say, what explains that crazy play, right? Because you can often figure it out and then play around the right things from there. Child plus Foragers blocks a 6/5, but really we're on plan IGI here. To the extreme, I rock the mic like a vandal, light up the stage, I wax a chump like a candle. Dance. So, do we care about this block? I don't think we care about this block, although I don't want to give Tron any more rummaging, but I do like having 6 power facing off against the giant. I could also just block with the Forgers. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah, he's done for here. That was a desperation. For some reason, I was thinking he had mana open, and I didn't want to risk my 4/4, so I was gonna kind of make the safer play, but it didn't matter. Well, it's a free block if you do things like look at the state of your opponent's mana, but, you know, there's no need to be snooty about it. Good game, Nathan. Just because Alexis likes to play the game the easy way, where you read and look, doesn't mean I'm not in for a challenge. Let's see if I can... Let's see, I gotta switch to this...
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Good old color screw card advantage. I'll take it. Here, I'll play some old school memes while I'm still on this scene.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. He's a big pig. Yup, yup. You can be a big pig too. Carry on my wayward son.
Probably just my overwhelmed CPU because I switched to this scene with 700 million memes on it. Oh no, not the meme scene! That's what my computer is saying right now. Please!
Welcome to Miller Time. It's brewed here. It's yours and mine.
I've got these great active noise canceling headphones, so I can't even hear my computer complaining right now. Do we want that swamp? Nah, we do not. We also don't really want to block gutter bones. Nothing to do on 3 here is not my favorite result, but I'm not going to stay back. I'm not going to cast Might, so we just say bye-bye. At least we have IGI for 4 and Spider for 5, regardless of what we draw. We have, maybe we'll come up with alternatives, but at least we have a plan for the next 2 turns in the event of blanks. Locket is a good thing to see after a hot start from Oppo there. Interesting. It's the battle of the collectors, I guess. It's possible Oppo blocks with the collector. We'll see if they do. If they do, I probably might to save. Although, is that worth it? Do we care about saving the shaman? Because if we do that, we can follow with the Gorgon. We can also just let him trade and then drop the IGI. I'm going to start with an attack, though. It may be moot. They might not block. They might be happy to race here. Okay, they're blocking. So this is choice time. I don't need to do the Might. But I do have the Gorgon follow. And then it keeps us with creatures. I'm going to do it. Ooh, this thing spits out tokens, right? Yeah, this thing is a real problem. Love to find our exile removal here. As it is, they're staying back to block, of course. Gutterbone's great blocker here, right? It blocks. Some of these don't block. I want to make sure I remembered my Gutterbones properly. Let's go Spider here. If we find a swamp, we can Child of Night, Ill-Gotten Inheritance next turn. Yeah, Deadweight would be nice. They're going to get some action here, though. That's a real problem. But maybe it's just IGI time again. And maybe it's even IGI time now. If they're not attacking into this, let's just get the pinging going sooner than later. I think that's actually correct. And now I'll, yeah, we're, without the second swamp, we can't really two spell, so I should single spell. And Spider attacks into this board, so I'm going to play this. I think they're going to be on champ go wides here. We need to find removal for this champ pretty soon, or really an army of 1/1 lifelinkers is going to be pretty solid for Oppo. Not blocking that right now. I stood in defense of 1 toughness, 2 powered creatures without downside for 2 mana during deck building, but I want to acknowledge that this is for those who are critical of like, I hate 2/1s, right? This is why, like, they're really bad against this type of token play, and you really feel the weakness of the 1 toughness when your opponent is spitting out free 1 powered creatures and tossing around free 1 points of damage, right? We did, however, find our grotesque demise, which is great. It gives us a chance to reclaim a little control here. And we're going to get rid of the champ while shields are down, and then look to rebuild our board presence from there. And IGI keeping things drainy in the meantime. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this attack. At what point do I just block the Footlight Fiend, being like, better now than later, you know? Because, like, I can't really play the Child of Night with a Footlight Fiend out. I can barely play him with the Soldier out. So given our long game plan here, I am going to take this trade. And then I can at least play the Child of Night and threaten a crackback. I still don't really want to block 1/1s with it, but at least it threatens to trade with a 2. Trouble, yeah, this thing is good too, though. It is going to be tough for us to have value from a Child of Night against. That's nice, though. Now we can 2-spell. Hybrid plus Grudion, and then a basic land gives us a 6/6, which is currently crushing this board and becomes a must-kill. So, not bad for 2 mana. Well, not bad for 8 mana, I suppose. It's like, hey, we got one of those, and there it is. All right, we'll play the card we can and pass. The 3 toughness is awfully weak. Even if we were to do something like trade hybrid off for their transport plus some other 1 power thing, they make a couple of 1/1 flyers, and then suddenly it's pretty easy for them to also trade for our transport. So we're kind of back to a little bit of parity, but that's also where the IGI matters a lot. And them giving up the transport for the Death Toucher also matters quite a lot. I'm going to happily take that. But we also have to, well, take that. I'm going to take the offer of a block here and then take the 2 damage there. Maybe that signals they have removal for the hybrid. Oh, okay, where they just have something huge themselves. That's fair. Well, there's our mana. We definitely needed that. We could play the transport as a thing that can block this just straight up, and it's pretty good at that. And if we do that, we also get the flyers up in the air. Whereas if we do the hybrid block, we're a ways off from getting flyers up in the air. So I like transport here. I could send the hybrid first, though, I suppose. Let's see if they block. Because if they want to just block this, I'll adapt this into a 6/6 and take the 7/5 for 6/6 trade here, right? So do you like that though? Attacking and then taking the trade if they accept it? Because I'm not blocking with this, right? Yeah, I suppose that's fine. If they want to take this block and trade, we'll take it. And then if not, I don't think they will. I think they would think, great, they're getting that potential 6/6 out of the way. Now my 7/5 is free and clear. Okay, but they're doing it, so we'll, it's all above board, all above the table here. Cards on the table. Maybe they just feel this crackback is good enough, you know? This is a strong crackback. I could take the block with Child here and prevent 1, gain 2, and then drop Transport, and with the IGI and Transport, feel like I'm more back in the driver's seat again, although 2 cards up here. I mean, it's probably not both lands, so we might be on the back foot, and that makes me want to... yeah, I think we should do that. And do that. But what else was that card doing exactly, right? Like, that's my question. Like, what was the Child of Night going to do for us? If not that? I'm not sure what else it was doing that game. This, though, is exactly what I meant when I said, they got 2 cards in hand, probably not land, we're probably behind. You know, there you go. Trollbred is a beast. IGI, not going to be enough here, and IGI showing how traditionally it has not been a control card, it has been an aggro card, almost a top-of-the-curve card. That's it. That IGI at its best is in draft at the top of your curve. So now 7, 8, 9. If I do nothing, we're going to 3. If I block, we're going to 4, 5, 6. We're going to 6. Like, it's barely... But I do need to get flyers in the air for here. Do we have hard removal for Trollbred? We have a Savage Smash, but that's kind of one of the real problems with our deck, is that we don't have much reach out and smack you removal. We just... so... we don't need to. We either go to... But we do need to have flyers, so... we need to get, we need to get the flyers is the main thing. I don't think we have... I was just checking for the hard removal, because that's really our out, and not even the Savage Smash gets the Mammoth Spider big enough to take out a 7/7. So we are... I don't know what we can even draw, is the thing. I don't know how to stack my deck to win this game. Especially if just any random creature added like that. I was going to say Poisoner might be where it starts if it weren't for the Trample, right? If none of this stuff had Trample, Poisoner and other Death Touchers could be a great out. As it is, we can play this and activate the IGI, and so not be dead. And we are going to try. Like, this, I suppose that was the way I would stack my deck, right? Because IGI to prevent us from straight up dying through a 4-point drain. Oh man. All right, now they actually had it. But then, like, so then we basically have block, trample for 6, 7, 8, 9, but then we gain 4 to go to 11. Oh, and then this still gets us. So I don't even think it mattered, but it's especially dead now. Good job, Oppo. I think they had us at Exaxes even if they don't have the Deadly Visit after doing the math there. I guess maybe I need to... Oh, we could have survived. No, because the 3/3 had trample as well. I was thinking I could chump the 3/3 with one of the flyers, but that still tramples for 2. So yeah, I think we were just not going to win that one. Well, we've had IGI every game. It's been the ultimate closer in 2 of them, and nowhere near enough, and basically a liability in this one, in the sense that if the IGI hasn't won you the game, it's probably slowed you down otherwise. Yeah, there you go, Alexis, right? That's the thing that doesn't have trample, so it probably needs to be blocked to have any chance at survival. Well, you know what? If I can cancel in time. I threatened, and I'm going to follow through. I want more coffee, and I know I've got the rest of my morning pot waiting upstairs. Should take just a couple minutes, and I'll be back down with a fresh cup. Be right back.
Thank you. We got more!
CPU is still complaining loudly, so I switched scenes back there. Seems like it's settled down now. I think I just literally ate an ant. You have an ant problem in the house, and I know an ant when I taste it. God damn it. Yuck. Did it get into my coffee sugar or something? That thing is sealed tight. Ugh. That's a Penn and Teller recommended practical joke. If you're out on a picnic or something, just start eating ants. I mean, they're edible. Free protein. Kind of tastes like lemon. That's how I knew I was eating an ant. Suddenly, my coffee had a lemony taste to it. Like, ugh. I have way more of an ant problem than you realize. I've been beating back ants around here for so long. Ugh. Insert Archer meme here. Well, too bad we don't have a swamp to go along with a forest. Then we have collector into child. Oppo on the play makes me want to keep this greedily and believe in our ability to find a black source or some things to do. Although maybe it is pretty greedy. Maybe I'm kind of I guess I'm asking for multiple things from my deck. Like I want a swamp and I want some other things to do. I guess I want a swamp or other things to do though. This is right on the edge. But you know, I think we can do better. I'm actually going to mulligan this. Well, we got to keep this. We have more forests than swamps, and at least likely to find our way to a guide. Maybe we'll find a forest off the top and still have a nice open. And actually what I do like about this is that we have the 2 power into 3 power for the collector. So we're going to get rid of the might and hope that district guide unlocks everything. Or a forest unlocks everything, including the district guide getting us to red mana. I mean, he still grabbed a handful of rabbit pellets. Yeah, forest off the top would have been mwah. But as it is, we're going to hope to find a forest by turn 3 and at least unlock the hand with the guide. Oh, Magic, you're so cute with your mana issues. A little late to the party, Forest, but glad you got here by 3, honestly. And I'm going to district guide. Really, we should district guide for another forest, but we do have Savage Smash. Too bad we don't have a green-red dual land. That would be perfect. It's going to be it's a tall order to not go fetch a red source here, though. To get a red-black source is a little bit painful here, though, I got to admit. Boy, what's the other option? Play Pelt Collector and try to... Yeah, we're still ending up looking to draw into it. Yes, I got to go for the red source. Yeah, Shaman first could do it too, I suppose. Maybe Shaman, well, yeah, that's a good point, because, like, now I don't want to lead with Shaman to get a forest, I want to lead with Collector. So really hoping to draw a forest off the top. No luck there. They know about our guild gate, and no reason to run out the swamp, so we're gonna play the guild gate, and I'll send the guide. There's no way they're blocking anyway. Yeah, I'm not even gonna play a creature out. I'm so convinced. And if they do block, having another creature out won't matter. And if they don't, I'm not playing the might. I will go... I'm still going to do the sequence. I'm going to go Guild Gate and then Pelt Collector here so that we can go Guild Mage next turn, or potentially Shaman if we want. But again, I'm trying to sequence it to really maximize the Collector. I don't want to be fancy play about it, but I do want to get this thing big. Well, there you go. Pressure's off. We don't need to worry about that collector. Watch us draw a collector off the top. Well, we're gonna pretty happily pitch this swamp. Might is also pitchable, but... And yeah, this has been pretty medium, but I still think we're gonna want to keep the interaction as opposed to... I don't know what else we'd play over it is the thing. Glow Spore, do we want 6? Because we could use this to get a land back if we thought it was important. They shouldn't, but I guess they do. How about... No, it's not very good. Yeah, splash... Well, are they splashing? Who even knows what they're doing here? So, I'm going to decline. I don't think we have, while we have need for even a 7 mana, I still think we should just try to get there through the natural drawing of cards at this point. Although, I mean, we have 6s and 7s. It's arguable that we should get one more. It's just that I'm greedy, so forget it. Oppo pausing on something, both with spell on the stack and during attacks, could mean multiple instants over there, but I'm going to make him have something for the Guild Mage. If they counter this, it's not the end of the world. I'd rather they counter the Guild Mage than something like the Savage Smash. Now, if we desperately need to, we can Might for a pretty good chunk and smash and get rid of something huge. But I don't think we'll need to. We should be able to smash. Yeah, we can make this a 4/4 and smash successfully. But with all 3 of these, well, maybe I go smash and then attack with Might up. Certainly, I think we want to just kill the Watcher and then. Well, if they do, we'll find out, right? Because I can just up the smash on my own. So let's do that on the Guild Mage, and then maybe they'll be tempted to put the Senate Griffin in front of the Guild Mage, and then we can beat that in combat too with the Might. But they are pausing. Seems like maybe it is Might, but our Might is going to be mightier than their Might. No, but not over the pack's favor. Still, it's a tie, right? They're going to go up by 3. We're going to go up by 3/3. So the pack's favor and the Might cancel each other out. And with a tapped Senate Griffin, we just get in. Great sequence for us. Oppo agrees, but reminds me that I don't want to talk to Oppos. Ooh, that's bold. You're gonna kill that Guild Mage? As I say, the Guild Mage is now a must kill or you're just straight dead. Alright, well, we'll offer either of these and then the Mammoth Spider behind hopefully closes it out. Oh, they get you with the praise. And then follow with the obnoxiousness. Never trust the praise. All right, 3 wins, not bad. Sealed being sealed, we got to get 27 wins before there's profit, but a 3 is a start. Oh yeah, we never talked about this song of the day today, but if you've never seen the movie Frank, it's about a guy he's a creative guy. He's a front man for a young fledgling band, but he's got a mental disorder such that he doesn't ever want to be seen in public without wearing this huge homemade head. And so he goes around. He constantly wears this head, but he's a very charismatic and interesting guy. But he just is constantly in a giant head. But it's a slow burn, interesting movie that's going to be really hit the right spot for a lot of people. But some people are just going to be like, "Huh? What is this and why?" Lovely starting hand here. There you go. I knew it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. But if you... It it's one of those movies. I can't even like say that for me it was like 5 stars, but I can tell you that I've never stopped thinking about it. Like never. It's one of those movies that regardless of its exact quality level is just lodged into my brain. Terramander's nice. What 2-drop do you like leading with? Assuming Oppo is going to kill what we start with, what do you want later in the game? The Guild Mage or the Hybrid? Probably the Hybrid, actually, so I'm going to open on Guild Mage here. Mana is what we wanted to see. We got a 4-drop we want to hit and a 5 around the corner and a 6 mana activation. So that was a good draw. Just want to really just land for a couple more turns would be fine. You know? One consideration is if we do get all the land we want, we're going to play this turn, 4-drop, 5-drop, 6 mana available. If that's the dream, maybe we want the Hybrid out now. In each case, it's a 2/2. But in the case of having a Hybrid out, we have an activation that matters waiting for us on turn 6. I like that. More land, that's what I asked for. And Oppo agrees with me on the identification of the important 2-mana 2/2. But the mana is flowing as hoped. But now that we don't have a 6 to do with the Hybrid, I'm fine to stop at 5 mana. You can give us some different action options if you want. Well, Oppo's like, don't worry, Ryan. How about I take care of them both? Not much life gain off the Foragers, but I'm just happy to keep dropping beasties here against Oppo. Wrecking Beast, 1 away from activation. Poisoner can't block the Ceratok. With Wrecking Beast behind, I'm going to go ahead and offer the Poisoner for the Foragers. That's why this card is good, right? 1 mana trades off on defense for almost, you know, anything that can block. But given that we have this that we want to have live, we're going to go ahead and give up the 1 here, or give up the 5 to the 1. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Oppo could do that. Secret Reach, in a sense. That was just bad play on my part. I even looked. It's just bad. And another Death Toucher so that our Wrecking Beast doesn't really wreck. So that's a big problem and is going to put us way behind the 8 ball. Now, like, again, if I stack my deck to try and win this, it has to have something to do with that flyer, but I don't really have anything for the flyer. I guess Savage Smash is what we need. Yeah, you think they might trade Death Toucher for Death Toucher? I suppose it's like the only thing we've got. Or not the only thing, but it would help if they happen to choose to do that. And again, we're just not a very interactive deck with other big creatures. So, yeah, I mean, it's a long shot, right? But sometimes people make mistakes. Let's give Oppo a chance to make a mistake. And then a Wrecking Beast would matter. But that's exactly what we expected. Still, I do have Grotesque Demise, so I suppose the answer is that we draw removal for the Death Toucher and we win the race. So let's hope we do that. Oh, they didn't make a mistake that big. Only I'm the one in charge of those. Well, it's the card of the day there. Does this mean we have a chance? Not with their IGI, probably, unless they... No, they're at 6 mana. So the IGIs... even if we found our IGI to kind of pressure it, it's not really going to matter. Can probably even scoop this up. Yeah, they've got the 6, so we can just scoop it. Well, that was a stupid punt to attack into a known 5/5, but it was effectively a free lesson in that I don't think we had much chance there. Ceratok back, what does that do for us? If I don't just throw away a Ceratok, what do we still do? We're still just looking up at the flyer getting us, right? So I think that's why Magic can be a game of inches, but can be a game of that massive, obvious mistake didn't matter in the slightest. It just depends on the game. In this case, massive, obvious mistake didn't really matter because the thing I mistaked into was good enough anyway. Really haven't gotten the double pelt collector thing going, but this is a fine start. Doesn't have a 2. But the guaranteed land for a turn 4 Ceratok with both of our 2 best pieces of removal in the deck in hand is nice. I'd rather have this hand on the draw, though. Like, if you said this is going to be your opener, Ryan, I'd say, okay, can I just give me the draw then? And this is why we're not really doing anything, but we have reactive spells. So cheap reaction plus no aggression makes for a good draw hand. Here, getting the gates actually perfect in terms of we already have a 4th mana to enrage the Ceratok, and we can get our splash going. I'm going to go ahead and offer a trade here. I could deadweight that, but our removal is pretty precious, and we even have a reason to care about stuff in the yard. And this could help gang block a Ceratok, whereas maybe they only have some 2 toughness behind, and suddenly this is a much freer attack. Next turn we have IGI or Grotesque or Deadweight. If we draw a Swamp, we may consider playing the Swamp to have access to both of these pieces of removal. Don't think we have anything to unlock that. In this case, we do get another option out of that. But really, trying to figure... I guess we just dead weight. Maybe I don't dead weight this turn. I want to win the race, start and get the IGI going. This is the only land we have. Might as well do that. And then, hey, thank you, Smooth. Appreciate that. IGI gets better if we can get ahead on the race, but I don't want to just, like, waste removal. So maybe send District Guide, drop something, either the Guild Mage or the IGI, but hold the removal for follow-up attacks next turn. Okay, that's great. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm perfectly fine with that result. That makes me happy to just drop the IGI then. And max the mana. All right. Well, we can block that. They may be able to pump and get a little trample in, but as long as we have a 4/4 for their 4/4, if they don't get extra toughness, it's still a trade. Do that. I could deadweight it as well, but again, I'm gonna try and use this removal. If I can use a creature as a 1-for-1 removal, I'd rather do that. Especially if, I mean if they, or it's going to be a 1-for-1 for a combat trick. But we're going to trade for something here. The only real blowout is if they can draw a card or, you know, not use up a card to get rid of our foragers. If they come out ahead on cards here, that's bad. But I'll take any kind of trade. Alright, they're going to make us work for it the hard way. I'm going to keep playing lands. We've got a lot of stuff to do. I like that we get Guild Mage plus Hold Up Grotesque Demise here. Scuttlegator is too gross to demise. That could be rough, but we do have Death Touchers. So that's kind of the plan there. Collector, you're like 12 hours late for your first day on the job. Menace as a tap cost makes no sense here, so we're not doing that. We're gonna gain some life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh. Well, might be it for us. This thing is just dumb. Hexproof from monocolored, like most interaction in the set at low rarities is monocolored. There's of course quite a bit of gold interaction in the set, but not quite a bit of gold interaction that takes out a Sphinx like the black-white one does. We could find our fight and that would work, right? The smash, Savage Smash could get it done. So we have some outs. Let's hope we find them. Wrecking Beast just being big enough to force a trade is interesting. But I think we just actually make it a 7/7 here and see if we can't Guild Mage it to good effect. Guild Mage making an 8/7 menace and a 3/2 menace is interesting on this board. I don't mind tapped Sphinxes, honestly. Depending on what they do here. Ooh, hello. That's going to eat a dead weight before it can grow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still don't have 8 for that either. So let's go... we don't even need to Guild Mage per se this turn, although it does... Actually, I think we still do, because it gets the Pelt Collector in. Well, kind of... That's why I was surprised they attacked with the Sphinx. But maybe they just felt they could win the race here. We'll... yeah, that's true. That's why, right? Now I'm the one being silly again. But I think... Maybe that means I was supposed to keep the Pelt Collector back, AVB? What's the correct play, then? Oppo's like, I can't believe this guy's getting away with it. One land and I win this stupid game, right? But maybe even if we think it through, we're like, we got to take the risk. But again, as I often say around here, the real mistake there was not even considering the line. We can Grotesque Demise the Druid and then make it at the least tough, right? We... Demise the Druid and activate the Guild Mage. We get in for 3 guaranteed, and then Sphinx dies. And then, like, do we get... Oh, we don't have red... We don't have enough black to do... Oh, no, wait, we go... yeah, we need this land to produce both red and black, unfortunately. Okay, so that's not going to work. Another, to Spectacle and Demise. They have to double block the beast anyway. At least let's start with the Druid kill. That's got to go, right? And even if they adapt, it will still die. It won't get to bigger than 3 toughness or 3 power without help from the hand. And then... Yeah, let's do this because then we threaten 3 again next turn, right? And now we got to decide which of these to kill. Hammer says kill the defender, the bigger thing. It does become a large attacker coming up. So I think I'm in for that choice. Although if they spend their whole turn on that, are we okay? Or are we just dead in that case? Like we kill this and they... I think we don't care, actually, right? I think we take out the Sphinx, because if they draw land number 8... and pump it all into a 9/9. Like, what do we care? Oh, it's hexproof from monocolored, not protection from. Yeah, we can interact with the Scuttlegator, but mainly we can chump it. Like if they if this does become a thing. Yeah, like, I think we do this because they can't really spend the turn on the 6/6. I'm going to do this, but I'm not sure. It might not matter all that much, honestly. It's really about what next turn looks like with the Guild Mage and the Collector. And Collector's going to get bigger, right? Because when this thing dies, the Collector's going to get another counter. Man. You serious? That's brutal. Come on. Yeah, we made good plays. They just had it. And that's frustrating. Average result. Deck was fine. Maybe that's an average result for an average deck, though. All right, couple of redemptions, including some secret listen-up redemptions, and then I'm going to take off for the day. Thanks, everybody. Get that set up real quick. Start with hats. And let's get both of them in place here, though. There's the first. All right. I'll just do this one since it's right here. Doing two preview reviews. Upcoming set. Incriminate. 1 and a black for a sorcery at common. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same player. That player sacrifices 1 of them. Okay, okay. Interesting design space for what was classically, what was the first one? The Tempest black OG sacrifice effect. Regardless, historically, black has had the ability to force players to sacrifice a creature for about 2 mana. And the issue with those types of effects in Limited is that it effectively reads, opponent sacrifices their worst creature. And that's, well, that's pretty varied in terms of its ability. It obviously gets worse and worse as the game goes on. But almost it gets worse. It's bad right away because we tend to play our worst creatures early in the game, right? So I play out my 2-drop. Here's my old grizzly bear. Then I do some other stuff. And then you finally make me sacrifice a creature. Well, I just go back and I sack that grizzly bear. And then you feel like you haven't done much of anything. You get these moments with these cards where you get their only gigantic creature, or in Constructed, one of the most important uses of the old Cruel Edict is handling creatures with hexproof or shroud. That was why this effect was such an important effect for Constructed, because a lot of people would be playing a single creature that just couldn't be targeted, and that was their big win con. Well, that would give you an answer to that in Constructed. It just never really translated well to Limited because X mana Oppo loses their worst creature just isn't that good of a Magic card for Limited. So this tries to fix that. This is kind of making a Limited Cruel Edict, because, and I say Limited Cruel Edict because it's good in Limited, but it no longer does the job you want it to in Constructed. One important thing about this to note is that you do need 2 target creatures controlled by the same player. So you don't even get to cast this. Like, this isn't really 2-drop removal. It suffers in comparison to Edict effects on turn 2, because at that point, you want to be able to, if this is a 2-mana removal, you want to slot that in the curve. This doesn't slot in the curve like that without 2 creatures to target. So it suffers there. But it does say in the late game, take out your opponent's second best creature. And that's often good enough. It's often important. But how many times does a game of Magic that you're in come to, and how many times today even, were we looking at the board state and saying, hey, we need to deal with this right away or we're dead, or Oppo needs to deal with this right away or they're dead. And it's often very specifically one creature that's now winning the game. Magic, that breaks that way a lot in Magic, where board is at parity. What are you trying to do in a parity situation? You're trying to find something to break the parity. You draw that one flyer. Yay, parity's finally broken. Boom. I'm attacking you in the air now. Change this. Incriminate doesn't work in that spot. So as much as this is an improved edict effect for limited, consider the amount of times that you're knocking on your deck, trying to top deck removal for a very specific threat that you need to deal with or die. This is not your top deck solution there. So really, I'm not sure how much we're going to be playing this. With me, if it's removal that's 2 mana, I really want to be able to play that on turn 2 and take out their turn 2 play. Like on the draw, I untap for my second turn. You've played a sweet 2-drop, and then I pick it off with my 2 mana black common removal. And again, this doesn't even fill that role. So I got my eyebrow raised here. I don't think this, while it's an improvement for limited over a classic edict effect, I don't think it gets there in the end. I think there's too many other hoops that you now have to jump through, and ultimately still has the same problem as an edict effect, that if the only thing that matters is the first place creature, it doesn't matter if it's their worst creature or their second best creature, it's not the right one. So that's my concern about that card. I don't think it's that good. We'll see. But in a general situation, we've all got a bunch of good stuff, and I generally just need you to have fewer things. It's going to do a thing there, but it's less likely to take you from parity to being ahead. Often it will just take you from parity to a different kind of parity. Parity in which you're a little better off. Yeah, sorcery speed, huge drawback. Good point. That's reviewing that one. And this is Void Wren. We got a rare here. Esper colors. 3 mana instant. This spell can't be countered. Destroy target non-land permanent. I like the cleanliness of this design. Hat asks, is there bad tension between printing ward and printing can't be countered interaction? We haven't seen one in like 3 sets. There was some can't be countered though in like Strixhaven, right? Like Strixhaven did the ward thing. And I think it's classically Wizards breaking its own rules, I suppose. Is it bad tension? No, it's just another part of the rock, scissors, paper game, right? The idea of ward was, hey, it's hard to make good creatures over 4 mana, especially when in constructed, kill spells tend to be 2 mana, maybe 3 mana, but usually 2 mana for a good black kill spell. And how you can't be winning too many constructed Magic games when you're playing out 4 mana creatures, hoping to untap with them in a sea of 2 mana removal spells. So ward was kind of the solution. Hey, let's put ward on the creatures at 4+ mana especially that we're aiming at constructed, so that people get to play with them, get a couple turns with them before the removal catches up. So if you put ward 2, like that's the way I would think of it in terms of thinking about balancing out things with ward. If in constructed we think of the Doomblade as the benchmark, that black is going to have 2 mana answers to just about anything, then basically your ward number needs to be casting cost -2. And then if you make that your ward number, it says, okay, now at least when you Doomblade my thing, it's an even mana trade, right? That's kind of the point of Ward, is to turn cheap removal into even mana trades on expensive creatures. Now let's bring it all back around. Voidrend. This spell can't be countered. Hat is basically saying they went to all this work to introduce this keyword to give some flexibility for bigger creatures to do their thing before dying. And then they introduced a 3-mana answer that says, screw you, Ward. Your Ward is useless. I can still kill you again for a mere 3 mana. So is that bad or not? I don't think it's bad because this is a 3-mana gold card. It would really be undermining their own mechanic if the cost on this thing was black, 2 colors and only black, like 2 generic and a black. That would be a terrible. First, color pie aside, spells being unable to be countered is very much kind of a green-blue thing. Blue doing it to itself and green doing it to blue in general as an enemy color. But so color pie stuff aside, if we were giving black and black alone the tool to overcome Ward, that would be a mistake. That's really undermining your own new mechanic in a way that completely takes away what you were trying to do with it. However, to make it a 3-color card and say, look, if you're willing to play Esper specifically and you're willing to come up and you can find all 3 of those colors on time, sure, you can kill the Ward creature and ignore the Ward. Is that fair enough? I think it is. And really, I also just, I like hosing blue. This spell can't be countered is just one of my favorite lines of text. I gotta tell you. Magic is... blue deserves its tools to succeed, and I just particularly like... being a Magic boomer and having grown up in my Magic years as really not a blue constructed player and really enjoying doing things, not stopping things, it really pleases me when Magic creates tools to tell blue to F off with that countering nonsense. It's true, Hammer. That's why I'm acknowledging that blue, it's not like blue is the boogeyman anymore. Blue has been plenty nerfed and is just another one of the colors that can rise and fall in constructed in standard power level like any other. One thing I've noticed heavily about playing standard of late and in general and in recent years is how much the Wrath effect has been nerfed by meta shifts, right? So many cards have been printed that answer the question, well, how do I recover from a Wrath? That Wraths aren't that amazing anymore. I play a lot of decks that are just creature-based aggro. They're like, oh, you blew up my world? Oh, okay, well, this creature land is now going to kill you. Oh, okay, well, turns out I drew 2 cards off of those creatures anyway, so I can refill on the next turn, right? There's a lot of ways to recover from Wraths, whereas in the old school, it was just like so clean to just destroy all creatures, you know? Is this a new one? Divine Purge. Here, I'll give you a free preview review. This is coming in the next set? Or is this... well, I suppose I'll recognize it if it's not. Exile all artifacts and creatures with mana value 3 or less. They perpetually gain. This spell costs 2 more to cast. And oh, is this a alchemy? Okay, yeah, alchemy card. Hammer, you're saying you think they could literally print Wrath of God in Standard and it wouldn't be at all busto? It wouldn't be overpowered? Is that what you're saying? Anyway. Let's call those previews reviewed. Thanks for the shares there. And then I'm just going to hop back to this view to hit on the other redemptions here, which are a couple of listen ups. Let's see. Now these are from my Discord Discord chats. I gotta apply. Let me see if I can make sure I get the right. I should have written all this down. Okay, so we're doing the track "Final Spell" by Visigoth. Perhaps the song "Final Spell" should have been saved for Friday, but we're going to do Final Spell. Oh, did I add these? Let's see. Did I add these to the playlist itself? Maybe not. And then Formidable. Formidable, if you're reading it from an English perspective, but the song is in French, so I think it's fair to say the title is Formidable. Here, let me share these. Put these on the playlist and then share them with chat, so if you want to listen while I talk about them, you can. Add to playlist. Listen up redemptions. Oh, don't add. I guess I already added that one. And then this one. This one added. Okay. All right. So, Final Spell by Visigoth is a metal track, and apparently I did a little bit of research into Visigoth. They're very high fantasy oriented metal, and long hair has its uses. I've really been enjoying metal more with long hair. I was out walking the dog and listening to the metal, and my hair was loose, and I was bobbing it and feeling it, you know. And I was thinking at the time, like, I've never heard of this band. I looked up, you know, they have something like 35,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. I don't know where that lands. I don't know what the charts are on Spotify and what a impressive number is versus isn't. But this band just makes me, it's just a reminder of how many talented musicians are out there in the world. You know, the fact that this band could be this talented and this, but still be ultimately effectively just another metal band. I don't want to be rude to them. I mean, I'd like to think, you know, that if Visigoth were here listening, I don't want to insult anybody. Like, what I'm saying is they're incredibly talented. What blows me away is that they could be this good and not be more renowned, but that's just a sign of the level of talent that's out there in music. You just turn around, I just turn around everywhere and just see incredibly talented musicians doing blisteringly cool things. And whether it's exactly my style or not, you know, I still have this block on metal. There's something about, even though I love fast guitar, I love virtuosity in musicians. There's something ingrained in me that makes me resist metal, like it's not for me. And I think it's just an artifact of my own mental state at the time where music was enrapturing me the most in my early stages, you know, like in that high school, that 18 to 22 range. I just never felt, whenever something clearly metal started, my brain will flip a switch like, that's not for you. It's like as extreme as country, you know, or maybe even more extreme than country. I probably have way more country on my big playlist than I do legit metal. Why? I don't know, other than me not feeling it at that time in my life and then kind of sticking with me. But I've really, much like my, one of my new hobbies, fascinations, and addictions on YouTube is watching reaction videos, and watching non-metalheads react to metal videos is part of how I've been growing with some appreciation of metal too. And anyway, I was obviously very impressed with the musicians, with the artists in Visigoth, and I was enjoying the song as it was playing, but it was also close enough to standard metal to my ears that I was also like, I'm enjoying this, but am I going to remember this? Am I going to wake up tomorrow with Final Spell in my head? because and the answer is no, I didn't remember. Like right now, I don't know what Final Spell sounds like other than it's metal. I could not hum the song for you because it didn't catch my brain in that way, even as it was fully impressing me as I was listening to it. And just especially like the end where the lead vocalist really cuts loose on the vocals, and like, geez, I hope these guys get a huge contract and become metal monsters or whatever they want to be. But also it's just it takes so much luck in music these days, because again, the skill is just there. Everybody's got the skill, so you got to find your audience and get a little bit lucky. And I hope Visigoth does all that. Looks like they've been making music since the 2012, I think, and then but their first album that had Final Spell on it got them a record contract, that kind of deal. So yeah, it is thank you, Arstal. I forgot to mention that I said that they are a high fantasy metal band, but this is literally a song about magic lore. So there's that too, you know. I mean, it's got an extra special layer in its shredding. So anyway, if you like metal, check them out. Help me understand what is the gap between Visigoth and Metallica, right? If you're a metalhead, how and why is Visigoth falling short of Metallica? Is it the level of play? Is it the songwriting? Is it, you know, I don't know. It's just. But thanks for the share. It was really, I appreciate the expanded metal repertoire of helping me there. And then let's see, the next one I had to do, the next one on my list, thank you, Formidable. And who is this one from? If you're in chat, just give a shout out, then I won't go digging. If not, I'll go digging and figuring it out. Formidable, catchy little French tune that I enjoyed quite a bit. French is a lovely sounding language. It's maybe one of my favorites in terms of its oral tone. I actually took 3 years of French in high school. Oh, thank you, Timber. So this is from Timber, and I was very bad at high school French. We had an exchange teacher teaching me in my first year, and he was such a pushover. The class would like convince him to just play episodes of French children's television, and really it was a fun class, but I did not leave my first French class with I got an A, but I didn't really demonstrate A-level mastery of French 1, so to speak. And then in French 2, I did terribly. I was not set up to succeed and struggled all through French 2, and even took French 3 and did badly in that one too. I don't really remember much French, but it's funny because I listened to songs in French and then I realized that I do remember a fair deal. I was able to translate a lot of the song. It wasn't very complicated thoughts, but and I couldn't translate it all, but I was proud that I was able to recognize some of the sentence structures and everything. And I'm a sucker for French lyrics. I would throw back at you as a suggestion, Magnifique. What's the name of this band? Hold on. Magnifique. It reminded me of that because Formidable, Magnifique. I think I've put that, yeah. Junoir. Here's a suggested song in French to share back. I may have used this on the Starting Soon song at some point, so maybe you've already heard this. But there you go. Yeah, appreciated it. I might check out some more of this artist because of my suckerage for the French lyrics. And it was a wonderful little share, and it was a formidable song. Thank you for that. All right, I think that covers my commitments to redemptions on the day. What do you say we find a raid target, and I can send you all on your merry way today. Let's see. I closed my redemption window. If somebody's redeeming, I'm not going to see it. I better open that back up. But you can redeem a raid captain if you want. Other than that, I'm going to choose here. Tupperware. Oh man, Doom Patrol's soundtrack is on point. Whoever is choosing the Doom Patrol music is A-okay in my book. I bet we could have some fun conversations. Yeah, I haven't rated Alias in a while. What's happening over there? Drafting? Show me drafting. Oh, new, well, it's new EDH. Yeah, we'll see. Amazonian? Hey, congratulations. Now, it looks like both Amy and Alias are doing EDH stuff. Yeah, a little late, Happy, but thanks for poking your head in here. I suppose that would be one way to do it, Vargan. Well, I'll send you to Alias anyway. It's not limited, but it's fun. Yeah, we could raid Jamie too. Yeah, I'll raid Jamie. I didn't get to say thanks to her for her bit in my in my birthday video. So let's do that. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. One final gauntlet before my new job starts and I go on hiatus until I figure out my streaming future with my new employers. And then I'll be on Monday to talk about, briefly, talk about the job I'm heading into. So have fun with Jamie, and I will catch you all on Friday, okay? And to set expectations, I don't have anything big planned except speaking from my heart and saying thank you to everybody. So, like, I just want to set expectations because, you know, it defines happiness. So don't expect any major send-offs. I'm just looking forward to one more day with y'all. So see you then. Have fun with Jamie.